Hello and welcome back to Python for Beginners here. And today we are going to learn the built-in data structures in Python. So every app that we use consists of data, such as, let's say, messages, scores, images, and so much more. So data structures are how programmers store data and access data. So in this video, we are going to learn the four most important data structures in Python. They are built-in data structures in Python, and they are the tuple, the set, and the dictionary. So in the next video, I'm going to talk about a list. Okay, so the first built-in data structure that we are going to talk about today is the list. So a list is an ordered, mutable collection of items that allows duplicates. So in order to create a list in Python, you need to type your square brackets here, and you need to supply your elements inside this list. And in this case, I'm going to give some names of fruits here. So I'll say mango, pineapple here, and I'll say apple here. Okay, I can give my list a name, say fruits here, and you are saying that a list is ordered. So what do we mean by a list is ordered? So let's say we use a for loop to iterate over this list here and print the items inside this list. It's supposed to be I. Okay, we get a mango, pineapple, and apple. The arrangements and the positions are the same as when we are defining this list here. So in this case, you see mango as the first element, pineapple as the second, and apple. And when we are printing these elements here, we see the same thing: mango, the first element, pineapple, and apple here. So this demonstrates a list as an ordered data structure because the positions are fixed. If I should change this to apple and change this to, let's say, mango here, let me run this program again. So you see that we have a different output here, even though they are the same elements, but we have a different output. So now we have apple, pineapple, and mango. And in my previous case, we have mango, pineapple, and apple here. So this demonstrates a list as an ordered data structure. The positions are fixed, and so we can access individuals using the index function here. So let's say I want to get apple here. Okay, I'll type the name of my fruits here, and I'll access apple by its index. And in this case, it's index 0 because it's the first element inside our list. When I run this, I get apple here. When I change this to 2 here, I should see mango here actually. So this demonstrates a list as an ordered data structure. The positions are fixed, they do not change. So the next thing that we are going to learn about list is the list is mutable. It's another quality or characteristic in a list. A list is mutable, meaning the items inside the list can be changed after creation. For example, I can say fruits, and I'll specify my index here, let's say index 0, and I'm going to say this is grapes here. Now let me print my fruits. I do not see, okay, let me run this. I do not see apple again, I see grapes, right? Because this have been changed. Fruits of index 0, which is apple, have been changed to grapes. So this demonstrates a list as a mutable collection of items. The items can be changed after creation. The elements or the list can be changed after creation. And a list also allows duplicates. So I can have duplicates of the elements inside a list here. I can have another fruit called mango here, and that won't be a problem. Let me clear this. We don't need this anymore. Okay, I see mango here. Python doesn't send me any error message because a list allows duplicates. Some data structures do not allow duplicates. Some do not allow. Some are not mutable, some are not ordered, but a list is ordered, a list is mutable, and a list allows duplicates. Okay, so in the next video, I'm going to talk about some list methods. Okay, so the next thing that we are going to learn is list methods and 2D list. So what is a list method? So a list method is simply a collection of functions that can be applied on a list to take an action that we want, right? And so these are some methods that we can apply on a list. So a method is simply a function, right, that belongs to a class. And they are called methods because they only belongs to lists here. They are not general functions like the print and the input and the rest. These functions only belongs to a list. So how do we access these functions that belongs to a list? So you type the name of your list here, and you type this dot operator on your keyboard. So when you type this dot operator, you see a list of methods here. We see append, clear, copy, count. There are many, but we are not going to treat all of them. We are going to just learn a few and the most important ones, right? And I'll leave the rest for you to explore yourself. So these are the methods that you can apply on list. Okay, so you're going to choose append here. So append will add a number to or add an element to our list, but at the bottom of it. So let me append 120 here, and now let me print my numbers. Let me print my list here. I see that 120 has been added to our list, but at the bottom of it. Okay, so the next method that we're going to learn is the pop. So the pop is the opposite of the append. The pop will remove the last element from our list. So let me run this, and we see that we don't see negative 23 there anymore. We can also treat another method here called remove, and this is used to remove an element from our list. So let's remove 100, and let me run this. We don't see 100 here. And we can also talk about the insert method, right? So the insert method will take two arguments: the position that we want to insert the item and the item that we want to insert. So let's say at index 0 we want to insert 100 there. Okay, now let me print this, let me run this. Sorry. So we see that 100 has been added to our list, but at the index of 0, meaning it has been added as the first element inside our list. So this is how we use the insert method. And the last method that we're going to discuss today is the sort method. So the sort method doesn't take any arguments here, and so the sort method will sort this list in ascending order, right? So when we sort this, we see this has been sorted in ascending order, starting from the smallest number to the greatest number here. But if you want to sort this in descending order, you can add this keyword argument here called reverse, and I'm going to set this to true here. If I should run this program, I'm going to see that now this has been sorted in descending order. So these are some list methods that you can do, we can learn today, but I will leave the rest for you to explore yourself. You just need to type your dot operator and you see so many methods here that you want to do. Okay, so the next thing that we are going to learn today is the 2D list. So a 2D list is simply a list inside another list, and this is mostly used in matrices and grids. So let me say a matrix, and I'm going to say this is a list of lists here. Okay, I'm going to say the first list will contain 1, 2, then 3, and the second one will contain 4, 5, and 6, and the last one will take 9, 8, then 7 here. So this is what we call a 2D list. It's simply a list inside another list, where each list behaves like a row, and the elements in the list behaves like a column here. So let's say you want to access 7 here. We can just type our list here, and we can access this by its index. So the 7 is in the third list inside our outer list here, and the index of the index of this third list is index 2 here, and the index of this 7 inside our last list here is also 2. So if we should print this here, we should find 7 here. Let me run this and let's see. Okay, so we get 7 here, and so these inner list behaves like rows, and this behaves like a column. So this is all that we need to know to get started with list in Python. In the next video, we're going to talk about tuples. Okay, so the next built-in data structure that we are going to talk about is the tuple. So a tuple is an ordered, immutable collection of items that allows duplicates. So unlike a list which is mutable, a tuple is not mutable. You cannot change the elements inside a tuple after creation. So let's say I have a tuple here, and a tuple is created by typing your parentheses here. Okay, so a list is created by typing the square brackets, and a tuple is parentheses. Not in every case, but mostly it's in parentheses. Okay, so let's say we have a tuple of, let's say a name. Let's say Mikey, a name, and a date of birth here. I will say let's say 9th. Sorry, I'll say 9th of May 2026 here, and I'll say this to be my info. I'll call my tuple an info. Tuple is used to do these things. Restaurants, a menu. You cannot change the foods on this menu. You can only select a food from this menu, but you cannot go to the kitchen and prepare your own food there. So this is how we use tuples to do. So let's now access some tuple methods here. So if I should type my info here and I type my dot operator here, I see that the only methods here available is the index and this count. Don't worry about this special methods here. This is not part of our topic here. We are going to discuss this in future. Let me say it like that. So this index and this counts are only the two methods here that we can do. So we can access the index of, let's say, Mikey, and let me print this. Let me print this here. I should get 0. Okay, and I can also use the count method here. Count method. Let me count Mikey, and I get 1 here. So basically, these are the only methods that you can apply on a list. So a list is ordered, is immutable. You cannot change the items inside a list. For example, when I decide to change, let's say, info of, let's say, index of Mike is, let's say, 0. And let me change this to, let's say, poop. Yeah, and now let me try and print info. I get an error. Tuple object does not support item assignment. You cannot change the items inside the tuple, right? So this is basically tuples in Python. And the next thing that we're going to learn is unpacking in Python. Okay, so the next thing that we're going to learn today is unpacking. And unpacking is not a built-in data structure in Python. It's just another concept in Python that I've decided to teach. So let's say I have a tuple of numbers here and I want to add these elements here in this tuple here. Then I need to access all these elements by their indexes and I need to add them. So I need to do something like this. I need to say numbers of index 0 plus numbers of index 1 plus numbers of index 2, and I'll store this into a total variable here, and at the end of the day I'm going to print this total here. And this works. If I should run this program, this is going to work. This is going to give us 6 here. But this is very tedious. We're repeating these numbers here again. And in programming, we don't repeat code. We reuse code. So tuple unpacking or unpacking. You have list unpacking, tuple unpacking. So it's not only limited to tuples here. With unpacking, we can simplify this code here. We can just say something like x, comma y, comma z is equal to, let's say, numbers, right? And at the end of the day, we can just print x plus y plus z, right? Now let me run this program here. We get 6 too. So you see this one is way better than the other one. And so this is how Python interpreter analyzes this code. So Python interpreter sees this tuple here, this tuple of numbers here, and it moves to the second line. It sees this numbers here, and it assigns these values that we have inside this tuple to this variables here. So it will assign x to 1, y to 2, and z to 3. And at the end of the day, we are going to add all these elements inside our list using the variables here. So if I should print only x here, I'm going to see 1 here. Yes, I'm going to see 1. So this is what we call tuple unpacking or unpacking in Python. Actually, you can also use a list here, and it will also be the same. It will also give you the same answer here. Let me add y and let me add z here. Let me add all this. You're going to get 6 too. So this is what we call unpacking in Python. So unpacking limits tedious codes and makes everything simplified. Okay, so in the next video, I'm going to talk about the third built-in data structure called a set. Okay, so the next built-in data structure that we are going to learn today is the set. So a set is an unordered mutable collection of items that do not allow duplicates, right? So in order to create a set, you need to type your curly brackets here and you need to supply your items inside as usual, separated by commas. So let's say I have this set of names here, right? We are saying that a set is unordered. So now let's demonstrate a set as an unordered built-in data structure in Python. Let me print names here and let me run this. You see Clems, Poop, Paki, and Mike. But when we were defining the set, we had Clems, Mike, Poop, and Paki. So you see the positions of Poop and Mike have changed, and even for Paki too. So it means that the set is unordered. You cannot rely on positions, right? They keeps changing. The elements inside the list keeps changing. Their positions keeps changing. So this demonstrates a set as an unordered data structure in Python. And for that matter, you cannot access elements inside a set using their indexes because the positions are going to change, right? Let me try this. We are going to get an error here. A set object is not subscriptor. You cannot use the index function to on sets, right? Because the positions are not stable here. Okay, so a set is immutable. You can change items inside a set after creation, and a set does not allow duplicates. And let's say I add another name here called, let's say, Mike here. Okay, let me clear this and let me print names here. Okay, so you see we get only one instance of Mike. We don't get all the instances of Mike here. And so practically a set is used in social media a lot. For example, it's used in social media followers. You cannot follow somebody twice. You can only follow someone once here. So a set is used to solve that problem. Without a set, you can actually follow one person twice here, but with a set, you cannot follow one person twice here. So if I have two instances of Mike here and I print this, I'm going to see only one instance of Mike here. It's going to count as Mike as just one person here. It's not going to count the two of them as my followers if this were to be my followers here. And so a set does not allow duplicates. And so we can try and access some methods inside a set. So let's say I type the name of my sets here. I can use the add method here, and this add method will add a new element inside my set here. Now let me try and print my set, which is called names. Okay, and I see that KB has been added to my set here. Okay, we can also use the copy method. So the copy method will copy our list into a new, copy our set into a new set. So I can name this a new names, right? And this new names is also a set. It's a copy of these names here. And for that matter, I can add elements to these new names here. So you see that we can access this sets method here on this new names here. So I can add a name, let's say Poop. Okay, I already have Poop, so let's say Godman here. Okay, now let me try and print my new names here. So we see that we have this. So you see that we have these two sets here. One is our initial set here, and the second one is the copy of our initial with Godman added to it. So we can have the intersection between two sets, the difference and the union. We can try this because now we have two sets here, right? So we can just say new names dot intersection, right? Intersection of the first set here, which is names here. Let me print this here. Okay. So now let me run this, and I see that we have Mike, Lem, Spoop, and Packy. All the two sets have these elements here, and so this is used a lot in social media, and this is what they use in mutual friends, the friends that you have that I also have here. And so I can also have the difference between two sets here. Now let me run this. I get Godman. So we see the difference between our two sets here is Godman. One have Godman, the other doesn't. So we can also say the union of this sets here, and you're going to get the union of all these sets here. So I'm not going to talk about this sets methods here a lot. You can just explore this on your own. You just need to type your dot operator here, and you can choose any method that you want depending on what you want. So a subset, a superset, is pop. Pop will just remove the last item from our list here, from our sets here. Sorry for that. So you can access these methods yourself here. So this is all that you need to know before you can get started with sets here. So in the next video, I'm going to talk about another built-in data structure called the dictionary. Okay, so the last built-in data structure that we are going to talk about today is the dictionary. So the dictionary stores unique key value pairs, is ordered from Python 3.7 upwards, and is immutable. So this is a typical example of a dictionary. So you supply your key and your value. So these are the keys here. These are the keys here. And these are the values here. Okay, so this is a typical dictionary in Python. And we can get the values from this dictionary by accessing their indexes using the keys. For example, let's say I want to get the name of, let's say I want to get the value associated with name here. I can just print info, and I'll access this using the index function, but I need to supply my key inside here. Let me run this, and we are going to get my key. And so we can access our values using this format, and you can also use the get method here. You can also use the get method to access our values here. So you're going to get name here, and you're going to get mic too. But the difference between the get method and the index function is that, should in case I type, let's say salary here, let me run this program. I get none because I don't have any key called salary. But if I should use the index function to do it, then I'm going to get an error. Okay, I'm going to get an error because we don't have any key called salary here. So this is why sometimes the get method is appropriate to use. Okay, so we can explore so many methods inside a dictionary here. So we can explore this method here called the get method. Sorry, we can explore this method here called the keys method. So the dot keys here, and this will return all the keys inside our dictionary. So this will create a dictionary object where we have our keys inside, the name and an age. And similarly, we can also get all the values using the dot values method here. And I'm going to get Mike and 24 here. But let's say we want to get all the items inside the dictionary, then we're going to use the dot items method. This will return a tuple of these key value pairs inside our dictionary. So we get a tuple of this key value pair. So we get name, Mike, age, and 24 in a tuple, each in a tuple. Okay. So the next method that we are going to learn for dictionary is the update method here. So we can update. So we can update key value pairs here. For example, I can just update name to, let's say, John here. And I don't need this print here. Okay, I don't need this print. Now let me try and print info. I see that this value here has been updated to John, and I can also delete key value pairs in a dictionary, right? I can just say delete info, and I'm going to give the key to it, right? And now let me try and print info. Okay, so we see that we don't have this key value pair here again because I've deleted this key value pair using the del method or the del function here. I only have this h key value pair here. Okay, so this is what we are going to learn in a dictionary, and you can access this dictionary methods here. You can learn this on your own here. You just need to type the name of your dictionary, the dot operator here, and all these are dictionary methods that you can explore on your own. And so this is the end of our video. If you found this video helpful, you can like, subscribe, and then comment